So everyone, let us all come together in our circle. Each of us here in the room, everyone on Zoom, and all those that join us on YouTube. And as we feel this connection, let us extend our consciousness to the web of light around the planet of all the star seeds and light workers, holding the light for the earth. And each one of us being one of those light bearers. How we came from a higher realm into the earth plane to do higher work, to lead humanity out of its suffering. The animals and nature, all the kingdoms. And perhaps you can feel within how the earth, humanity, is now at a point where things can begin to shift quite quickly. It's as if the whole world is waking up. Gaia already in higher consciousness, and the animals have shifted so much more easily than humanity. But as we open to the higher light, everything is done for us, given to us by grace. We simply need to surrender to it. So what does it mean exactly to surrender? What is it we surrender to? And what is it within us that needs to surrender? And what is it that resists so strongly? As you enter into that higher aspect of self, into your higher chakras, where you come into the brilliant light of self, empty without attachments, limitless without boundaries. So one's experience becomes totally different. Here at this higher level of non-attachment, we come into compassion and unconditional love. And all the ascended masters, archangels, and higher dimensional star beings are in this dimension, the 7th dimension or above. So as we sit here together in the company of the Arcturians and so many more, let us ask them to raise our frequency even higher. feel the presence of Quan Yin, the goddess of compassion. Buddha, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, Isis, and so on, all achieved this state of purity where only unconditional love and compassion exists in one's inner world. As Quan Yin raises us up, she tells us that in order to change anything, one first has to accept what is. Let us find within that place of non-attachment, of equanimity, where we can bring together in ourselves both the light and the dark, both the dark within and the darkness we see in the outer world, to embrace both with equanimity, with detachment, and the purity of simple beingness. To accept something does not mean that you must like it. It does not mean that you may not wish it to change. But the very energy of acceptance is from the fifth dimension and above, and its very presence brings transmutation and transformation. In order to come into oneness, to move out of separation, one needs to accept all that is. This acceptance is divinely peaceful, blissful, and beautiful, where we are free from judgment, which Yeshua has described as the only sin. So we need to look deeply in oneself at that which we cannot accept about ourselves, to be able to give love, compassion to that which I judge about myself. Only non-judgment leads to freedom. Freedom from one's own inner slavery. freedom from the conflict we always set up within ourselves between what we consider the light and dark, between letting go of the ego and the ego holding on and so on. A battle you can never win. But to come into pure acceptance of oneself, how everything is within. For when one wants to conquer one's ego, that of course comes from the ego. But to know the energy of Quan to come close, to feel your body, to move into your heart as she brings you to unconditional love, compassion, non-identification, non-attachment. As we focus upon what we are receiving from her, we can receive as our frequency rises this state of being within. She holds, of course, the Christ light, brings it to the world as a divine goddess. And as we come into her energy, her frequency, so it flows through us, out into the world, and to Gaia. For Gaia also needs love. You feel the luminosity, the gentleness, the fineness, the beauty of her energy, of her being. And this also exists within you. one begins to feel a softness for oneself. Judgments become less harsh. We gradually purify ourselves of our own judgments as we come closer and closer to self-acceptance, to self-love in all aspects. For self-love is the gateway to your ascension, to your freedom. Self-love allows letting go, allows the release of all your burdens. And be careful when you have this experience in the higher dimensions, or when it is simply your ego talking to you, to learn the difference, to distinguish between the ego mind and the divine self. It never comes from the level of the mind. Think more deeply into the energy. Let go of doing. Feel it filling your bodies, your aura. You begin to feel the love that you are from deep within your hearts. It's blossoming there, blossoming, growing, expanding as you hold the golden pink light within your heart space, within your high heart. And as Archangel Raphael brings his emerald ray to heal, Quan's energy, a soft white light, Someone once asked, why does God need our love? It is not that he needs your love, but it is your frequency of love that opens you to connect with God, with Source, which lies within every soul. So as we receive the divine, let us see ourselves forming a circle around the earth and focusing all this energy of unconditional love and compassion into humanity and all life upon the planet. And all starseeds and light workers join us through our higher selves. And we invite the higher beings of light to work with us. And they bring their love, their light, their energy. And the amplification of love light expands exponentially. You relax your body, you work without effort, you simply allow as you receive, and it passes through you. So begin now to bring your energy back to your bodies. Begin to ground, to align Feel yourselves coming into balance, into alignment, centered, grounded, and aware. In your I am presence, as you bring yourself fully into this now moment, the eternal now. And whenever you feel ready, begin to open your eyes and feel your feet upon the ground.